Hey everybody, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So today we are playing around with some AI worlds, especially this case with Midjourney. Didn't get access to Sora 2 yet, but let's see. We can still have some fun. You can add a lot of ideas if you want to in the live chat. Also, how are you doing? How is your day going? Let me know in the chat, and yeah, we will just fiddle around with all kinds of ideas and worlds and styles and all kinds of things in video generation and stuff like that. So yeah, gonna have a lot of fun with AI. There we go. And some coffee also. Hi Tom, thanks for joining. All right, there we go. Let me put the live chat over here to the side. And then let's see, switching over here. There we are. I have actually I have gotten myself again a membership for Midjourney just because it's kind of, it just looks the most artful from all of the different AI tools out there. Hi Rainier, thanks for joining. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good time. And yeah, after a very, very long time, Midjourney decided to add a style browser, which is pretty interesting. So that's pretty good. You can have here random hot ones, the top of the day, the ones that you like. So you can also like them here with the heart shape. And you can just scroll through them. You see, like there's tons and tons and tons and tons of styles. These are kind of like, for example, when you use Midjourney, you kind of get a random output. And then basically the random output creates a number like that. And so the community basically has brought together the best styles, right? I haven't used Sora 2 yet because I can't even join the Discord. I have joined the Discord and then I'm getting kicked out because something is wrong because they're getting so many new members for the Discord, so I can't even get like a one of these codes. So I can't join. Even though finally I got a VPN, so I actually can try that. But I didn't get around for it. But I want to make a video about that tomorrow. On the one hand, reviewing Sora 2 and then talking about the OpenAI scam that they love to do is they publish a new model. They keep a very, very sophisticated model for the first couple of days and then they downgrade it to something that is way worse. Just to get people to sign up, and then they do the little switcheroo, and they have done that multiple times in the past. So it's kind of like not great, to be honest, and I want to talk about that a little bit. And I hear they are doing it right now again, even though it's still free. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, but it has a lot of potential, though. Hi, Carlos. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Nice to see you here again. Let me know how your day is going. So you see there's like tons and tons of styles, and you can try all kinds of worlds there with that. So I got a little bit started here. You can add ideas in the chat if you want to. So here we have this kind of like mushroom city, basically. And that already, I would say, it looks pretty good with that kind of style here. It's a little bit rough, not very detailed, but you get an overall impression of that. And what I like about Midjourney is that it is just very creative for these kind of outputs. Even though sometimes it's lacking a little bit in detail and other AI models do that better, you still get a lot of very creative outputs. This one is one I very much like. And you always feel like when, especially when you have stuff like that, it looks like this kind of like concept art for video games and such. You kind of want to be able to draw that good yourself to like get in the details you want to have there, because it always has some nice ideas, and then you feel like, oh, it's cool, but I want to change it a little bit. And I don't know about your experience. Personally, I feel like the in-painting you also have on Midjourney is not super good. It doesn't really do specifically what you want to have. We can try it here, actually. Let's try this. Let's go to edit here. And then I can, you see I have this little like, with my mouse wheel, I can resize it. I have this little brush here. So I can basically brush in here. And let's say I want to have, let's keep the style. Street with people walking around. Let's see if it can add that or not. And I feel like Midjourney is not exactly good at that. But maybe we get surprised by that. Here we have some other styles. I also made this in a video, so I have that. I should have added a prompt to that video, to be honest, because I wanted the people here to walk. We can still try that. And the video it created is more like a zoom into that, which is not too bad, to be honest. The people are not walking, but otherwise it's a nice zoom into that kind of like city with the mushroom sci-fi style. And the other ones are more like, you see like this kind of like crane shot and stuff. That's kind of nice. Even though you have these kind of planes here that are a little bit sticking in the air or such. So, yeah. And then we have this, the other scene where it's like zooming out a little bit. Yeah, and you also, now you have a HD version, but you can't do it in relaxed mode, which I feel like is a little bit of a downside, because at least give me the chance to do it in relaxed mode, even if it takes way longer. But these are already pretty good, you know, especially to get some like sketches or ideas, right? Yeah, and there's some other stuff here. She's walking backwards a little bit. You can also like put a prompt there. You got your oh, do you still do something with your Midjourney subscription? I think they fall a little bit. They have been forgotten a bit because they like so slow about developing new, like adding new tools and such, right? They also have a mood board, and you can train your, not really your own model, but it can learn from the style you like. Which for me, I feel like maybe a little bit complicated, because I like to explore different styles. This one is a different style here. It looks a little bit more like watercolor, but also gives you different mushrooms in a different city. So that can also be very interesting, you know, to explore these kind of things. I like that one, even though the city is not mushrooms, but you have these giant mushrooms in the foreground. So that's kind of cool. The one I like is this. Reminds me very much of the Daft Punk aesthetic, or like just anime in general. I like these kind of like golden, the glitter or something, or maybe it's, what is it called? Light, are they called light bugs? The blinking bugs. I use X these days in the partnership promoted by Producer AI. You could tag them and create your own music video. I think Rock Video is cooking too, but work just for some hours. Oh, interesting. Okay, wait. Use X these days in partnership promoted by Producer AI. So I don't understand. When you tag Producer AI, it creates a music video automatically for you. You could tag them and create your own music video. When I post Producer AI music, glowworms, yeah, glowworms, that's what I meant. Thank you very much, Forum. When I create an AI music with Producer AI and tag them on X, it creates a music video for me. Is that what you mean? I mean, that would pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Right. Yeah, you can see like these, the Daft Punk style. I really like that. It's very nice, very colorful, dreamy. Again, it could have like more details in here and such. Yeah, and sometimes it is a good idea to, for example, go over to Krea. First of all, Krea has a surprisingly well-made upscaler now, which doesn't change the image too much, but adds more detail, as you can see here. And which is interesting because the upscaling, sorry, I'm jumping a little bit between all the things that I'm showing you, but this is the upscale that has been done by Midjourney. And it's a nice upscale, and of course, like the original image doesn't have too much detail, and it kind of like it at the same time it's nice and sharper, but it didn't add any details, even though I chose a creative upscale. And this is the Krea upscale, where you can see the original image on the left, and this is the upscaled image on the right. And as you can see, like with these details here in the backpack, it added some more details to that, but also with the mushrooms in the foreground, it made it more detailed and nicer artistically painted. You see? Also down here in the shadow and everything, it's a little bit nicer. It didn't add too much to the city, but also there it added some more detail. And when you compare that to the upscale of Midjourney just made it bigger, but it didn't add any details here at all, which is a little bit disappointing, to be honest. You use it less than you did. Do you have the $24 or the $48 where you can also make videos? The videos can be kind of fun. And I also want to play around with that today, by the way. Yeah, so the upscaling, not the best, maybe. They could improve that. Here we have another style. This is more this kind of like classic child book style. I would say it's a colorized ink drawing style. You know, when you make first the ink drawing, then you colorize it with watercolor. It should look like that, basically, I would say. And that's nice. And it fits this kind of style. So it's interesting how the style also changes the elements in the image. And here you can see it's different mushrooms, you know, than with this style. There's different mushrooms here, you see. So yeah, that's also interesting. Yeah, and you can do some interesting concepts. And what I like about that is just that Midjourney is doing it more artistically, and you can see like it's more off-center. It's like an artist would actually choose to draw that. Here we have a different style again. This looks way more like anime. You have there also this like creative thing. You have a massive mushroom here, and then there's a little house on top, and then you have the, oh god, what is it called again? The mountain Fuji, the Fuji mountain in the background, right? So yeah, pretty interesting. It's very nice style. This looks a little bit more like a kingdom or something. So, oh, you have the standard plan, so no video right now. Okay. Or I think it has a little bit of video, right? But not in the relaxed mode. You can do a little bit of video on this GPU hours. Right. So yeah. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Wow. So you have like an upside down hanging city here, like it's built into a hanging bridge or something, like you often see in sci-fi. That's also interesting. Also like that. Very nice. Very cool. Okay. Yeah. There we go. What did I try to do here? Oh, with the street. It didn't really add a street. You can see here, it changed parts in that area here of the image, but I wanted to have like a normal street with some people walking on the left or the right side, like small people in there, and it didn't do any of that. It just made more houses, which is a little bit disappointing that the understanding of the prompt is for in-painting often not great with Midjourney. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe you can correct me and we can find a better kind of style, better way to do that, right? Okay, let's animate this real quick here. You have automatic animation when you click here. And then you also down there, which is right now behind me, you can have here manual animation where you put a prompt for what you want to have animated. And then, of course, you have way more control, right? And right now I'm in relaxed mode, so it's a little bit slow for the rendering. One thing we could try out if you want to is, let me scroll down here. Oh, we have these awesome monsters here. Look at that. That's also pretty nice. We can do a lot of video stuff today if you want to. This was also very nice. That one is a scary one, where all of the skulls also do the kind of like talking motion. So that's kind of scary. And this is the other one here. Yeah, pretty nice. With the guy. It reminds me of that one episode on Walking Dead where they have the zombie heads in the cupboard, right? So that's kind of interesting. This one was also very nice, but I wanted to show you something else. Where is that though? 1 second. Oh yeah, this one. If you want to, we can play around with this. So this is basically a subway. And then we have different like insides of the subway. Here we have like more of a under like water and flower kind of scene. And it could also be like this. And then you can have a camera movement going into the subway. And we can cut that together. Here you have more like, I don't know, maybe flames or something like that. So we can come up with a lot of ideas of what should happen in there. And then we can turn that into a video. And we could cut these different scenes together into one longer video maybe, you know? So here you have like, as you can see, like there's like fish up there. The fish are not moving, but you have water down there. So it's like a little bit of an underwater so that might be an interesting exploration of worlds to come up with different ideas. You can tell me ideas. Hi, Benji. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Different ideas that you have for what we can do inside of there. Or we just like come up with random ideas of worlds and try out these different styles. What would you like more? As you can see, we have tons and tons of styles. We can come up with all kinds of interesting prompts. We can also inspire ourselves by these prompts here, or the images we see, not the prompts, but the images. Play around with that. What is more interesting? Should we make a poll maybe? Worlds in different styles, or subway cards with different I call it biomes. Do you know what a biome is from video games? Biome? Habitats. Let's call it habitats. Habitats, or different subway cars, not cards, subway cars with different I'm gonna write, oh, I can't even write that. 1 second. Biomes. There we go. Just call it biomes. All right. So let me know which of them is more interesting to you, trying out different worlds with different styles, or make a video with the different subway cars. Both can be very creative. We can do all kinds of things with the subway cars. Sci-fi, cyberpunk, steampunk, zombie apocalypse, all kinds of stuff in the same subway car scenario. Maybe that might be interesting, right? To play around with that. Let's see. And as you can see here, there's tons and tons and tons of styles that, yeah, we can play around with. You can also suggest things. Like this is also nice here, the little a world inside of a glass and stuff like that can be pretty interesting. We can also take inspiration from the Explore tab. So yeah, lots of options. Look at that. That's pretty cool here. Yeah. Lots of abstract styles also. Very nice. Aha, so right now it's 50-50. Let's see if I can get in some more votes. It's only 6 votes so far. I mean, while we are at it, we can have a look at what different of these subway cars would look like. What could we do here? Flooded. I could also use we can use ChatGPT, for example, to write the prompts for us. 1 second. Let me go over here. Use this prompt structure, but make it a apocalypse in the subway car. All right. Why do I always say subway cart? Oh, half flooded. Wow. It's still a blue subway car. Maybe we make it a gray subway car or something. Gray. Let's see what we get from that. Oh. I used the same image as an input. Maybe it's not the best idea. And maybe we can find a style reference, because now it's probably going to be close to these kind of like colors we have there. This is still rendering here. If we just do images for now, we can switch over to the fast hours, and that can then be quicker just for the images. Let's see, use this. Try it again. Oh, the other one is already also rendering. And use this again and remove the image prompt. Let's see how that turns out. Yeah, that's very close to the original one. So there's no zombies inside. Ooh. Okay. Oh, this one is nice. Is there no... Does the posters peeling, zombies drifting weightlessly in the water? There's none of that. Is Midjourney not so great with prompt adherence? I thought it was pretty good with that, right? Let's go here for raw for the model. What kind of settings do we have here? Stylization 100. Should we set it higher? 200? Maybe let's try that also. So for some reason there is no zombies in there. But the results are pretty nice though. It's not too bad. Wow. There's just no zombies. It might also be the ratio of the image. We can change that. Let's see, 1 second. Let's go like this. See what we get there, but it looks pretty cool, right? It's not very centered though. This one is maybe. That's where, oh, this is centered. This is where Midjourney is just lacking the ability to have control net, where you just want the structure and not the content or the style or the colors, just the structure of it. That's also kind of cool. It's even a little bit foggy. That's kind of nice, right? Interesting. Ooh, okay. It's kind of strange. I feel like with Midjourney that sometimes it has a lot of detail and is crisp, and sometimes it has less detail and it's kind of like pixelated and such. But well, some pretty interesting scenes, right? It's not too bad. What became of our video, by the way? Oh, there we go. Meh. What else do we have? Why does this not play? Oh, this didn't do anything? Okay. There the mushrooms are shaking a little bit, so that's kind of strange. I guess we should write something in the prompt. There is a very slow movement here. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't the best ever. These are too much inspired by the original image. So we basically have to go just with the prompt. But this one looks pretty good, right? If we zoom into that, that might be interesting. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff happening. Okay, so now we have like 60% worlds in different styles. 55 now. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can play around with that. And if you want to, in the chat, suggest worlds that you want to see, and then we can play around with them. I will put this to 2x1, so we have a cinematic width. I think that might be good. Or 16:9, so you see more on your screen. That might also be okay. Okay. If you want to suggest anything, let me know in the chat so we can try that out. Any kind of world concept you want to have. Any kind of world idea. In the meantime, I can try other ideas. Or we can just, like I said, I take ideas from here. But let's see. What could we do? One thing I always like is to have a giant monolith in a Nordic landscape valley. Man in a orange space suit walking towards the giant monolith. Monolith. Is this how you write monolith? No. Wait. There we go. Now we have it. Okay. Poop. What kind of style? Let us see. This is kind of cool here. Maybe. Let's try this style. Oh, maybe this one? Ooh, this one? Okay. Oh, that one maybe too violet, but let's try that. Okay, maybe not try too many styles. We need to have something left for later. Ooh, okay, nice. Alice in Wonderland. Okay, we can do that. Yes, Alice in Wonderland. There we go. Okay. So we need to take care that there's no style words in there. Forest, glowing mushrooms, twisted trees, floating clock, suspended, cherished cat, blah blah blah, soft light. Okay. We stop it here. Let me put that in real quick and search for some styles. Should we go back up? What would be cool? This looks interesting for Alice in Wonderland. Maybe this one? Oh, this one. Oh, this one. And man, that is maybe a little bit too much. This one looks cool. And maybe that one. Okay. Let's not overdo it. All right. So in the meantime, Reiner, I'm seeing your one. So I'm gonna add that too in a second. I'm already copy pasting that. Let's have a look at what we have so far. So here we have the monolith. Interestingly enough, a white monolith. It looks more like a kit, but overall pretty nice. I feel like it looks more like a waterfall, to be honest, in this case. This is kind of nice, but he's not walking towards the monolith. I kind of like the frame. This is interesting. It's completely different style. It's very, this is what I mean. Like this one is extremely pixelated. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes it just happens. And this again, he's not really walking towards the monolith. But it's kind of, it has a little bit of the Möbius style, right? Okay, here we have the next one. Wow. Dramatic, a little bit of a Dutch angle. I don't see any monolith here. But overall, pretty cool. A little bit eerie. Very nice. Oh, this one is nice, huh? That is very cool. And I like that the monolith is even behind a mountain, which makes the size even bigger. Very interesting. I would love to see that as a video. Ooh, that is very much like, has this kind of like Kubrick vibe a little bit, right? Very nice. And you see, that's what I like about Midjourney. You see, like, for example, this one is off-center. The trees are not symmetrical, stuff like that, which you often get with Flux. Also, the moon in the background is off-center, so that's very nice. This is more centered here, but still the monolith is a bit more off-center than the guy in the middle, which is also very interesting. Very cool. Oh, this is also nice. I love how the valley in the background is like growing into the distance towards the horizon. That is very nice. And you can see like the style is kind of like tuned into that style reference number. That's very nice, at least the colors. This one, I mean, these two are very similar from the style. That one I would say is a little bit more anime style, right? What would you say? And how do you feel about the images so far? I would think I really like that. This is the one thing I like about Midjourney, is that in Midjourney I get images I like, I would say, most of the time. I think like Midjourney, probably 7 or 8 out of 10 times I get an image I find visually pleasing, even though it might not be what I'm looking for, but I like the results already, and the result is inspiring. While, for example, with Flux, it's kind of the other way around. Like 3 out of 10 might be good or even less. So yeah. Ooh, this is also nice. It's not really a monolith. It's more like a pyramid, but also very interesting. Very nice. A little bit dark, but pretty cool. Wow. Okay. He's standing very close. The monolith looks a little bit small in that one though, but yeah. Anyways, looks pretty cool. Yeah, that I feel like in all of these images that the scale is a little bit off. The monolith always looks a little bit too small. There would need to be some elements in the foreground that make it look way, way larger. But it's good, not too bad. Stylistically, it's very nice. This one is a bit better, even though it still looks a little bit small. But I love the figure and the lighting on the figure. You see, like on the side, there's like slight sunlight coming onto it. Very nice, beautiful. Here's the next style. That's more movie style. Here we have like a reflective monolith. That's also pretty cool. Wow. Okay, the pink is a little bit too much, I feel like, right? The pink is a little bit on the dreamy side for that. But yeah, it's very nice. All right. I think I chose a little bit too many styles. Very nice. Oh, there we have Alice in Wonderland. Before we go into that, let me add Reiner's prompt up here. A vast floating world above clouds with crystal waterfalls falling into a void. Glowing dragon circles around. High fantasy concept art. Oh, no. We have to take out that. Epic scale. Ultra detailed cinematic lighting. We can leave that in. Okay. And then we just have to find some styles that we like for that. Let's go a little bit lower here to get some new styles for that. And it's kind of like a fantasy kind of thing. So, I don't know. What could be good for that? Maybe this one is more like this classic, a little bit looks like comic book style. Let's try that. That might be good. This dreamy style here might be interesting. What else do we have? This might be interesting here. Okay. And, oh, this one. This is very detailed. That might be right for that. Okay, we have 4 styles. I think that's enough for that one. You can suggest more prompts if you want to. 1 second. There we have the Alice in Wonderland style reference. This needs upgrade because it doesn't have enough details in there. But yeah, you can upscale that and get some more detail. But it looks pretty beautiful. Very nice colors. Very vintage. Oh, there we have the Mad Hatter, kind of. We have the rabbit there, the guy, Alice in Wonderland. Again, it's missing too much details. And there is some kind of crazy elephant creature sitting here. So there's some craziness going on. But overall, not too bad. Ooh, okay. No Alice in Wonderland this time. But we have the castle in the background, some kind of reading bunny here or whatever. And this looks like a mushroom candy cotton tree house, something like that, right? Very strange. This needs some upscaling to add some details. There seem to be some children here in the trees, so yeah, lots of craziness going on here. Oh, this is again very nice. And this is something I find very strange about Midjourney, that sometimes in the same image you get a crazy amount of detail and texture and everything, and sometimes you get very low details like here. Might just be a style kind of thing. All right, here we have the next one. Wow. Okay, this is like these kind of like a vintage, I would say, God, what is it called? Yeah, the print, mesh print, offset print kind of thing. Lithography kind of thing, right? This kind of print with like a small amount of colors. Deco? Yeah. Is this Art Deco style? Maybe. Yeah, with the background here looks like Art Deco. So that might be it. Oh, not Art Deco, Art Nouveau, right? Deco. Anyways. Wow, look at that. Big bunny. The ladies having some breakfast. Also very nice, beautiful details. Again, I could use some more details, but it's always a good starting point, right? This is very strange. It's like a postcard, doesn't have anything to do with it, but sometimes you get these random results. And there we have a little girl with a big bunny. Also pretty nice. Yeah, very nice. Some pretty interesting results. Love the artistic, like how the clothing, the dress of her flows, the hands and such, and also the nice face expression. Look at that. Very beautiful, emotional face expression. Very, very cool. Oh, wow. Oh, I like that style with the silhouette And there's a little cat down here. That is impressive. Pretty cool. I like that. It's not very Alice in Wonderland magic for the forest, but still very beautiful. This is also nice, kind of anime style here. Very small nose. It didn't like create the cat at all, right? Only bunnies, but yeah, anyways. Very interesting. Ooh, I love that. This is a little bit of a mix of like these kind of more psychotic anime style, like, oh god, what is the like the film Paprika and stuff, and then mixed with the Disney style, especially her clothing and stuff, right? A little bit of like both of that. Very interesting. Huh. Wow, this is also nice. Okay. Again, I wouldn't necessarily think Alice in Wonderland when I look at that image, but it's pretty cool still. Very creative. I kind of like how it is like these big mushroom heads and then very thin stems, right, for the mushrooms. Kind of interesting. Makes them look a little bit like smoke, right? What do we have? Oh, there we have the cat. Finally, and really like hitting the mark with that cat. Looks a little bit scary, and the teeth are kind of like all over the place, but still, you can completely see the cat. And some other details in here too, like the playing cards and stuff. Again, I don't know why the detail is so low, but it has some pretty cool things in there. And this is, oh, this is very much on the psycho area, right? The way she looks is like a mad drug dream kind of, a little bit. But yeah, pretty interesting. And the the moon with the kind of like skull face up here. Interesting. Okay, but that's, I mean, again, this is kind of the thing I like about Midjourney, is this kind of like unexpected dreamness, that you dive into different worlds and you find something new and you get inspired and you think, wow, we can do something with that, right? Because something that really annoys me about Flux is that the results are often very expected, unless you have some pretty cool Loras that do some other styles, but then it kind of sticks to the style of the Lora, so you're not getting that much surprised, right? And Midjourney is kind of like, it might not have the quality or the tools, but it has the creativity and the surprise factor, right? So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, much more artistic. And you can really, like, you could start with that and then create your own drawings or stuff like that from that, right? Hunyuan 3. Not in that way. Right, so that would be an interesting comparison for that, right? Interesting. Oh, this is also very nice. This one here on the right side is completely effed up here with that creature, doesn't have any shape. But the bunny on the left and her, like the almost sinister expression on her face is pretty amazing. Wow. Just the background elements are like sadly mostly nonsense, especially on the right side. Everything is like going a little bit off board. But this kind of like sinister, a little bit like Wednesday kind of inspired look, you know? That's pretty interesting. It's very nice. All right. Oh, this one. This is going madder and madder by the minute. Wow. The giant eye, again, like her blown up eyes here. She looks pretty like crazy in that one. This is more the adult version of Alice in Wonderland, where it's like some crazy madness and gore is happening in the show, right? Very strange. Also, look at this kind of like completely off the rails kind of cat down here. And the skull on top of that. All right. Yeah. This reminds me a little bit more of like Felix the Cat. If you haven't seen that, it's a like comic movie. It's really crazy and it's very beautiful. Old school vintage comic movie. Felix the Cat. What the hell is going on here? Again, this is where Midjourney goes like mad a little bit. Way too high contrast, very pixelated. I have no idea what's going on, but yeah. Sometimes Midjourney does that. Okay. Maybe that's the style, I don't know. This reminds me of a mix between Wizard of Oz and Shining. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not a happy land, I would say. Don't follow that yellow brick road. Because it does. I don't think this leads to good things. I don't want to know what's behind that door because yeah, not good things, I think. Oh wow, and this is how you look when you come out of that. I don't know what's going on. This is just madness, and the details are, I don't know. Yeah, Midjourney just went crazy on this one. Wow. All right. Yeah. What the hell is going on right now? Yeah. This is the life effect when things just go crazy. All right. What else do we have here? Is this still Alice in Wonderland? I guess so, right? What the hell is going on here? Right. It looks pretty beautiful, though. Now we have something that's nicer. I mean, this is like, yeah, a little bit strange. And then this is getting very beautiful again. Look at that, very nice. It's kind of like, what time is that? Is that 70s, would you say? Or 80s? This kind of like child book style. That's a little bit like this, I would say, watercolor kind of style. And very flat watercolor style. Is this 80s, 70s, 80s, something like that? Ooh, beautiful. Look at that. With her golden hair. Very nice. That is a very beautiful image. Like the style. Oh, okay, cool. If she would be standing here, that might also be nice, right? With these kind of like little deer bunnies is a little bit strange, but yeah, it's a strange fantasy world, so why not? All right. Oh, there we have from Reiner the fantasy city with the waterfalls. That is beautiful. Wow. Even though the waterfalls look a little bit like lava, but still, wow. It feels like a floating city, but inside of a crater, maybe. It reminds me a little bit of like a negative version of the Akira city, right? So instead of a big crater, we have a crater city somehow. Very interesting. What's the next one? Ooh, and here we have the opposite. That is also very strange. And kind of like flying dinosaurs or something here. Or dragons, I don't know. Oh, dragons. Yeah, we had dragons right in the original prompt. That is crazy. Interesting. Next one. Wow. This looks kind of like a mix of sci-fi and fantasy. I don't see any kind of floating city here, but I love this kind of circular area with these like, how can I say, broken up parts here, but they are rectangular. Not nature kind of broken, but this kind of like rectangular structure here makes it a little bit looking like the Borg structure, right? Interesting. Ooh, there we have actual dragons. Again, a little bit of a Dutch angle here. Dutch angle, sorry. With the waterfall. Beautiful. Lots of dragons in this case. No city at all. So, yeah, I have to say the prompt adherence of Midjourney is surprisingly not great. But on the other hand, you get a lot of happy surprises. Yeah, it's really creative, right? Oh, look at that. Floating city. There we go. Not really a city, more of the underside of the city, but beautiful. Wow. Interesting. Oh, again, not really a city, right? It looks a little bit like a city, but not really. But it looks very nice. I think we have to fiddle around more with the prompt structure to get the things we want to have. Not a city, but again, looks very beautiful. I wonder if the prompt is kind of linked to what you can get in the output. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe there was some spelling error or something in the structure, because it is not very, it doesn't really like the city idea. This is also very beautiful, looks more like digital art. This, yeah, looks pretty cool, looks more like a video game. Very nice. What else do we have here? Wow. we have these kind of like almost digital waterfalls here. I wish there was more of a city in there though, but it's very nice. Ooh, this reminds me of the Tron film, right? I like these digital, very straight waterfalls, right? Is Crochet today? Yeah, Midjourney is going a little bit wild today. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, very nice. Cyber world here. Ooh, and there we have the cyberpunk version. That's kind of like a mix of cyberpunk and Avatar, right? From these floating stones and such. Kind of cool. Kind of interesting. A little bit strange, but why not? Ooh, this one is better though. Interesting. Again, I don't really see a city, but I love these waterfalls here, and this kind of like ring around it makes it kind of look like a structure. Like something here is like a, I don't know, either a city or a science structure or something is going on here. Oh, that was the same as before. Again, just like neon waterfalls. Love the clouds, they're very beautiful. And a little bit more of the waterfalls with a neon horizon now for some reason. Yeah, not expected at all, right? Very like all over the place. Okay, we need some more ideas. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Let me know what else we have. Beautiful composition. We also have the second prompt here. No, the Alice in Wonderland thing we already had. Did I miss something? The floating worlds we had, the Alice in Wonderland thing we have. So both of that is there. So if you want to suggest some more ideas, we can go with that. I can also put one of my ideas in here. What do I want to have? Let me think about that for a moment. A man standing next to a giant skull. Laying between the rubble of a broken city. Okay, there we go. Let's see what kind of styles we have for that. What would be fitting here? Let's go a little bit down here so we get maybe some other stuff that we haven't seen already. Oh, maybe this one might be cool. The sketch style here, let's try that. That might be interesting. This kind of Japanese style here. You think that might work with that? Or is it a little bit too reduced? Anime style. Maybe that style here in red? But we already have red and black, right? I'd like to have something with more details. Oh, this has a skull here, so that might be good. And then oh, maybe this one. Okay. Oblivion. Do you have more of a prompt, or should I turn that into a prompt with ChatGPT? We can also do that. All right. Oh, wow. All right. We got some good stuff. Should I turn this into a creative prompt from ChatGPT? Give me 4 creative Midjourney prompts based on the Oblivion concept. All right. "2D cell shade style." I mean, there's a lot of 2D. Do you have an idea for a 2D cell shade style? "Futuristic outpost towers above clouds, remnants of vanishing civilization." So we have post-apocalyptic elegance. We have the Forgotten Earth, the sky shelter above ruins, the memory of the past world. Which of them does appeal most to you? The first one is a futuristic outpost tower above the clouds. The second one is a deserted football stadium buried in white sand dunes. The third one is glass sky based hovering over storm clouds. Hovering. And the fourth one is a human figure in torn flight suits standing before a colossal cracked holograph of Earth. The first one, okay, let's try the first one. Inspired by Oblivion 2013. Maybe should we take that? Yeah, we can take that. Okay, good. So let's put that here. And then we're searching for some styles for that. Let's go a little bit deeper here. And because of Oblivion, maybe this might be good colors here for that. Right, with the red and the blue. Let's try that one. And then what might also be good colors? Here we have something like, I don't know. Oh, this one might be good. Let's try that one. Maybe this one, the comic book style here. Can try that one. And maybe something is a little bit more crazy. This one is kind of cool. Although it's more abstract painting style. I don't know. What else do we have? That one is pretty cool. Let's try that one also. And then, yeah, maybe this one. Okay, with the violet. Let's see what we get out of that. Okay. Let me start here with my ones. There we have the one with the skull. That's cool. It's very like, I would say like Russian, what do I say? Russian kind of child story kind of thing, a little bit from the aesthetics, child book, but pretty cool, very nice. Giant skull, very nice with the city in the foreground. Very metaphorical. There we go. There we go. Ooh, that is beautiful. Wow, it looks very Russian. You see with the here the onion kind of top on the tower. Beautiful though with the silhouette. Wow, very creative. Love that. Ooh, the metaphors are just like exploding out of that style. Look at that. Giant skull, broken city. We have this kind of like whatever this is up here. And the background with the giant red sun looks a little bit like an explosion. The guy standing alone on that hill. Beautiful. Wow. Such expressiveness. Next one. Okay, that is completely different. I don't know what's going on there. That's the Death Hotel. I don't know. It looks like more like a cringy popcorn movie, but pretty cool. Filigree. Oh, yeah. That's also nice. Yeah, that's true. Good word. Very good word. There we go. Ooh. Why is the style so different, though? What's going on here right now? 1 second. Let me check. Oh, so this was like an outbreak from that style. Doesn't make any sense. And then we have here other styles. Ooh, I like this one. That's beautiful. It is kind of like where you make the dots with the ink. Or maybe it's a dot matrix printer, but I don't think so. But very cool. Ooh. Very cool. Wow. It's like a farmer finding a giant skull. Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Again, this is more like a, how do you say? Who's the workers that build houses? They are the construction worker, a construction worker finding a skull. Also very interesting. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. It looks like the old sci-fi novels, right? They're kind of like Pulp Fiction kind of things. These like cheap sci-fi novels in the back in the day when it was expensive to print color. You had these kind of like images in there. Oh, wow. This is also very nice. With the industrial crane here. Whoa. Very nice. Looks like a steel factory, right? Wow, look at that. Holy moly. Interesting. Yeah, so like these like simple concepts I feel often work better with Midjourney. Wow. Beautiful. And again, the silhouette against the bright background, so beautiful. This one is also nice. The head is just gigantic by now. The skull, but still really cool. This is kind of like I can imagine this as like a sci-fi cover or something, right? 80s horror movie vibe. Yeah, totally. I would love to see that as a movie, right? It's kind of like a giant monster or something. This kind of like figure coming from hell or something, and they need to fight against it, and they have some crazy solution to do that, you know? Yeah. Ooh. Again, beautiful. Very nice. Okay, very cool. Love it. Oh, wow. We have here double exposure. Wow. I love how the city is overlaid into the skull and then also at the same time mixing with the bone of the skull. Wow. This is like this kind of like end time, you know, like a cover about, just like a book cover for a story about an apocalyptic world, right? And maybe he's the last survivor or something, and humanity is death, and you see that with the city and everything. Beautiful. Very nice. There we have another one, same thing. We have a little bit of these geometric patterns in here as designs, also very beautiful. Very nice, wow. These would make very beautiful classic book covers. This is also very good. Wow. Interesting. Love that. See how creative Midjourney is. Like, show me any other AI that can do something like that. That's pretty impressive. This is also interesting. Wow. Again, look at the double exposure. This time, it is at the same time harder to see that there is a city because you can see like the small buildings down there. But then what I really love about that is that the sides of the skyscrapers, these lines of the skyscrapers, turn into basically a melting skull here. You see how this is coming down? A little bit like melting, a little bit like a spider web. Very beautiful. Holy shit. That is some creative stuff here. Huh? Isn't that great? Wow. Very nice. Is this your prompt? I guess. Oh, yes, this is the Oblivion prompt. So we don't really have a floating city, but that's also the thing. Like, if you have two abstract concepts, the AI doesn't know what to do with it. So even though a floating city or a floating base, it seems kind of straightforward, it should be able to do that. But here it got a little bit confused, but still it's very nice with this guy. A little bit of kind of like a vintage looking spacesuit here, walking towards either it's a city or it's kind of like a server farm or something, kind of, you know, like in sci-fi when the AI has some kind of like base, it always looks like this kind of abstract thing. Again, not really a floating city, but pretty cool. Very nice. He could be a little bit more walking than standing, but yeah, very nice. Next one. Wow, this is a massive spacesuit here with this glowing city in the background. This composition is a little bit strange, though. What else do we have? Ooh, the hero looking back at us. And this is also something I realized about Midjourney. It loves to just like splatter all kind of like crap on the surface of a character for some reason. Instead of keeping the surface clean, it's like, you know, just like loaded with some stuff. It's kind of strange. Ooh, that one I like. I love how I love how the whole scene is like has a nice style, and then for some reason the sun is just like a icon here. Completely different, like flat style. Very interesting. But very nice base here. Looks like more like an industrial complex or something. But yeah, cool. Ooh, wow. Look at the moon. That is a complete structure here. Interesting. Right. Not it doesn't have any of that floating city though. That's kind of a pity. Interesting. Right. Yeah, I think it's just too complex for that. But yeah, nice concept. Ooh, what's going on with the moon though? This one looks like a golf ball. Deformed also for some reason. Very strange. And the ground here, the landscape looks like it's made out of Lego for some reason. Okay. Ooh, that is a good one though. This reminds me of Halo, right? Halo 1, these structures on the surface look kind of like that. Very nice. And then the moon in the background. Beautiful. Wow. Look how big the landscape looks because of the moon also. Very, very nice. Ooh, it's really very much reminding me of Halo, right? The first one. This one also reminds me a little bit of Alien, maybe. You know, the atmosphere converter of Alien. Interesting. Oh, nice. If this guy here would be better, I think we could fix that with in-painting. If this would be a person looking out over the landscape, that might be much nicer. But as it is, it's also pretty interesting. Also very nice with the ships here in the sky. It's a little bit strange, but overall, very beautiful style. Oh, wow. I love that style. Look at the guy standing here all alone. And this big structure here, this looks like a like this kind of like anime style, right? A more artistic, rough anime style, but very beautiful with the gigantic red moon or sun. Very cool. Very apocalyptic. Ooh. I don't know what's going on here. Suddenly we are in a fantasy world, a mix of sci-fi and fantasy. Interesting. Very strange. Next one. What is this? This looks like, oh god, what is that computer game called? Where they have to hunt these kind of like, not ghosts, but there's always a monster and it's playing in a landscape that looks like the Wild West. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. You have to run around in the landscape and kill a monster, and then there's another team. I think it's something with hunter in the name. Wild Hunt or something like that. Either hunt or hunter in the name. This looks a little bit like that. And it's kind of strange that you have this kind of like Western kind of style here. And then at the same time, you have this tower here that looks like from a fantasy castle. I think, again, Midjourney is getting mixed up a little bit. And this looks either like a boy or a girl or something. A little bit like Akira inspired, maybe. Interesting. Anyways, I have no idea what's going on here. This is just mixing everything together. Like sometimes Midjourney is just going crazy. I think we have to stick to like easier concepts. This again is pretty cool though. Everything kind of like comes together. Even though that this structure here looks a little bit like a fantasy castle, it goes through as a sci-fi structure. And the giant moon again is very beautiful. Very, very cool. What else do we have here? Wow. Looks like a sci-fi science base. And then the professor is just standing out here thinking about his stuff. Very beautiful, isn't it? Love the color palette also. Very nice. Very cool. Again, very beautiful. But the the moon is a potato in that case. That's just not good. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, again, it's getting completely confused with the styles of the building. But I kind of feel like this has to do with the style reference. I think we have to be like, go easier on the prompt, just like a easy prompt, and then let Midjourney play out what is happening, right? Okay, so I will go for a prompt, and then you can also suggest something if you want to. What are we going to? What are we going to do? I want to have a. Okay. Street view of a street view of an exotic market in a narrow alley with tall skyscrapers in the background. Wait a second. I want to add a character here. A woman holding a gun. Okay. Let's put this at the start. Street view of a woman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that should be good. All right. Let's look for some styles that might fit with this. Ooh, this is nice. We could try this afterwards for some portrait shots. It doesn't always have to be a scenic shot. You can also come up with a portrait concept. This might be interesting. I think we should put some styles that actually match the scene. I feel like this might be interesting. That one might be cool. Oh, this one. Let's pick one more. This one. Okay. If you have another idea, you can give it to me, or I'm gonna put an idea of myself. Maybe for portrait this time. Let's go for a portrait idea. Let's go for another one. I have to check how to write satire. Satire? Okay, that's the right one. A satire with large horns. Wearing tunic. Holding a honey, holding a cut open honey melon. All right, satire with a evil grin. Okay, so I'm gonna take this style here, and I want to see what the photo style does with that. This style might also be very nice for that. Ooh, maybe this one, although it's maybe a little bit too abstract. That one maybe? This one might be cool. All right. I should have written portrait though. I forgot about that. Oh, this style here might also be very nice, but for something we have to have a more creative prompt for that. Oh, maybe this one, but you already have too many of these like drawing things. That's some pretty cool. Oh, this one. I want to see that one. All right. Okay, I want to have this one too. Sorry. All right, let's go and find the images that I created from the prompts. And if you have from prompt ideas, let me know. Whoops. There we have already the lady. Ooh. Beautiful ladies here. Look at that. Hello. We have the market. We have the city in the background. She has a gun on her back, but never mind. Pretty cool. Very nice style. Wow, it's more like a Bond girl here. Very beautiful. Wow, look at the city also in the background. Looks like a Japanese city maybe, I guess. I'm not sure. Beautiful. Oh, and there is like the super pixelated pixel again, image again. I don't know why Midjourney is doing that. Ooh, look at her. She looks more like a Latina in, I guess, Chinatown in New York. Maybe she's hunting someone. Very nice. With the silencer a little bit on her gun also. Wow, and the big golden earrings. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely colors also. Very nice. Next one. Oh, wow. Okay. Lots of blood here, I guess. And lots of people in the background. This looks again like, I don't know, maybe a 70s book cover or something. Interesting. Ooh. She looks like the female version of Han Solo a little bit. I love how the foreground has more colors in them and more details, and then it completely fades in the background. It looks like a little bit like the old Hong Kong in the background, right? Very, very nice. Beautiful. What else we have? Oh, this looks like a little bit like a mix of Tomb Raider and The Last of Us, right? Again, in some kind of Chinatown. Very nice. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Beautiful. Midjourney really has some very cool stuff. Ooh, again, lots of like Tomb Raider style in here. I love the text thing here. For some reason, it's very inspired by book covers, right? You see this kind of like alternating text, and the text is like inverted to the background. Very beautiful. And for some reason, again, Chinatown. I don't know why, but yeah, very cool. Ooh, anime style. Beautiful. Very nice gun. Very nice girl with the red scarf. Nice differentiation of her to the background, and then the background is like faded from the colors. Very cool. This looks almost like it could be somewhere in Bangkok. Pretty cool. Ooh, there we go. All right. Hi, Psychic Trauma. That's an interesting username. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Very interesting. So this is actual street level, a little bit lower than street level, but pretty cool. Yeah, very good afternoon. Here it's night, but yeah, very nice day. Ooh, wow. They are having some good arguments here, the ladies, I would say. There we go. Beautiful haircut also. A little bit blurry, though, overall, especially the background. But, yeah, reminds me of Cowboy Bebop a little bit. Ooh, also very nice. Beautiful skyscrapers in the background. She's, again, very beautiful. Yeah, middle of the market. Very nice. Ah, so there we have more of a photo style. It's a little bit strange from the decision of the colors, but overall, it's kind of interesting. It looks a lot more like a studio than an actual market, right? For some reason. But interesting scene, nonetheless. Oh, wow. I like that one. It looks like she's standing under one of these, like, you know, when houses connect, and then there's like houses over the street, and you can just walk under them a little bit. And so there's some flags hanging down here. Interesting colors also. Very beautiful. And I love, again, how she is like in contrast to the fading out background and almost a silhouette, but not completely. Very nice. Also interesting. The gun looks a little bit strange, but yeah, pretty cool. Very, very nice. Ooh, okay. There we have the Hawaii shirt pants or flower pants here with a Uzi gun, kind of. Interesting. That reminds me of, I don't know what the film is called. Asian director, very famous movie about a drug trafficking woman. What is it called? The movie. Very famous, very beautiful movie. Is it maybe Chunking Express? Could that be? Huh. I'm not sure. It's from 1994, so it could be. Yeah, Romance and Crime. I think that's the movie that I mean. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that's the movie that I mean. And she does have like short hair and like a, in this case, just a yellow shirt. But and here she has like this kind of like look with the strange hair and stuff in the trench coat. So yeah, anyways. Okay, cool. All right. Ooh. Wow. That is quite something. Her hair looks like the telephone lines and the power lines you have in Asia a lot. I love also like how many lines are there in here. The background is intensely detailed, like almost overflowing. But not with specific details, more with these kind of like surface lines, which makes it very crowded and almost like it's made out of fabric or something. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I've never seen or read that, so that's not what I meant, but maybe it has a similar look. Ooh, wow. That is also very nice. I love this like intense overflow of lines for no specific reason, just to like give the image like a lot of texture and some kind of like, you know, fabric kind of feel to that. I like that. It's very interesting. Never seen that style. This is also very nice. The gun is kind of cool. With this, I don't know what this is, you know. It looks kind of like a sight, but also kind of like something to carry the gun, but way too small for that purpose. So a little bit strange, but beautiful. And the way that we look up at her and she looks down at us is also very nice. Love that. Ooh, look at her, like the head is leaned back a little bit. She has this like hat on to cover her identity and stuff. Very nice gun, looks a little bit like the Han Solo gun. Very cool, very nice. Cool style, love that. Oh, that is the satire with the honey melon. In this case, it's a watermelon. What the hell is going on here? This is completely unexpected. I thought we see something more somber where he's just standing there, not something like that. He looks like Hellboy. Holy crap. This was a big surprise. Okay. I love how he's like, you know, this curly beard and hair, and wow, this guy looks very intense. Okay. Look, he's looking forward to his watermelon. There we go. Wow. Oh, it's a watermelon, but he has like this kind of like honey, you know, this kind of like specific honey, man, what is the word for that? Spoon, honey spoon for that. The grin is fantastic for this one. He looks like a Greek god. Wow. Okay, intense, very intense. All right, what the heck is going on? He looks like the devil. The devil of watermelons. There we go. Wow. Okay. I almost want to have this as a video to see where it goes and what Midjourney is doing with that. This looks also very strange. This is completely not what I was intending with that, but it's kind of cool though. Very nice. Very interesting. Oh, okay. It completely didn't get the concept of a honey melon though. Maybe I should have like put that together in brackets or something. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. Ooh, that goes a little bit more in the direction. I don't know why the background has this intense pink, but otherwise. And first time we have a watermelon. There we go. First time. Yeah, I think for what I've had intended it to be, I just chose the wrong ratio. This is why all of this is kind of zoomed in so much. I wanted to have a half body shot. This, for some reason, looks like pixel art. Very strange. Yeah, I missed about an hour, but you can still, hi Marcus, if you want to, you can suggest a prompt and we're gonna render that prompt in different styles. Ooh, that one is pretty cool. That looks a lot like a fun anime to watch with the sneaky god of watermelons. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Oh, beautiful. His hand is very strange, but the rest of it, the smile is very intense. Way too many lines again, but beautiful. He looks a little bit like a fantasy dwarf mixed with a satire. So yeah, very nice. Love also the ring in his beard. Very cool. There we go. And we have a watermelon again. Oh, also very nice. With the white background and such. Do you say caricature? How do you pronounce that word? Caricature?
Caricature.
Caricature, I'm right.
Caricature.
Caricature. Caricature? Not caricature? 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 Really? Caricature? Yes. Yeah, let's get some coffee results. I already have my coffee here. Very big mug. So let me know what you want to see. Let's go back here to the crazy results. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. It also reminds me a little bit of Asterix and Obelix for some reason. Maybe because of the smile. That might be it. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. A mix of like a satire and a gremlin. Interesting. Pretty cool. Ooh, this is nice. It does not look like a melon at all, but the face, this is like the kind of like evil smile. Very nice. Beautiful perspective also. Oh, very nice. You see, like the seed has, or like the style reference has a lot to do with what it puts into the image, not just the artistic style. Oh, very nice. I love these ones. Yeah, that is a style that's fitting very well for that. Wow, the evil look. Also very nice. A little bit of a crazy look here, more than evil, but yeah, still very good. You made 1.25 liters of mocha, master. Holy shit, you're gonna be having a heart attack tomorrow. I'm not on the map of what is this stream channel topic. No, we're just trying out different styles. Holy moly. We're putting in a prompt and then trying different styles from the style reference library of Midjourney today. Wow. Okay, crazy. This looks something you might see as a graffiti on the wall. I love that he has also this kind of like milkshake here. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, cool. Again, we are back in this in the world of watermelon. And he's also amazing, or she, I'm not quite sure. A lot of way too many horns, but I love the like big hollow eyes and the smile and everything's pretty amazing. And this one is again something where you would love to be able to draw, to flesh out the details, get some like correct hands and everything. I think this one has a lot of potential. Very nice. Ooh, very beautiful. I can see that as an animation. Wow. With the weed in the background, very nice. Love his face expression also. Oh, this is also very cute here. That is a great style. He looks a little bit like Morty, right? There's never too much coffee. Yeah, there we go. 24 hours results, about 5 liters of coffee. Holy moly. You're gonna have a heart attack. Well, there we go. Oh, this looks more like a pineapple, I guess, what he's holding, but pretty cool also. Ooh, and this is also very nice. I can really see this as a nice animation. Very, very nice. Okay, cool. Actually, let's go back and animate some of those. Let's go here to relax mode real quick for the animations. I want to see this as an animation. And I want to see that as an animation. And I kind of want to see this as an animation too. Just that style mostly. Oh, we should have animated this style also maybe. Let's take an animation here. Can I take one more? Apparently not. Oh no, it does. It picked it up. It might still say, hey, you're doing too much. But let's see. Okay, cool. Do we have any other prompts we want to try for this? What kind of thing do you want to what do you want to see in these kind of like prompt styles here? We had some cool stuff, like for example this here looks pretty cool. We could do something with that. Maybe again portrait. I could also ask ChatGPT again. Give me 3 abstract surrealist portrait ideas as a prompt. Okay, Finland. Yeah, but what country? What country of what? Oh, okay. Where you come from? You're from Finland. Wow. Human face breaking into floating glass shards. Oh, that's exactly what that is. Reflecting different emotions. Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay, I want to try that. 1 second. Gonna put that up here, and then we're gonna switch here for the ratio. And then we are going back here. Can I? Yeah, there we go. And we have this. All right. Wasn't there another style that was kind of like that? Maybe this one. All right. I think right now we are in the slow mode. I'm not sure if I switch over now, is it switching everything over to fast mode or just the new prompts? This keeps in queue. So I guess only the new ones. An angel with biome is a circular system. Okay. We're gonna try that. Let's put that in here. So, all right. Let me go back here. And then we find some interesting styles where we can render that. Maybe this one might be cool. And then maybe this one might be cool. This one might be good for that. Oh, this one might be good for that. Maybe that one also. Okay. Let's see if we get something good from that. This stuff here is still rendering. We're going to look at that later. So this with the breaking into floating glass shards, each shard reflecting different emotions. Oh, swirling cosmic patterns. Okay, so this actually does that. Yeah, I thought the shards have different emotional expressions of faces in them. So that's a little bit disappointing here with these kind of cosmic swirls. It's cool, but it's not like super interesting. Yeah. Meh. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Yeah, a little bit boring. Oh, there we go. It's a very abstract angel. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, this is nice though. A little bit more detailed. Very abstract again, but kind of cool. Also kind of cool. Looks like a 3D shape. Ooh. There we have a robot. Do you want to have it 16 by 9? We could also change it over to 16 by 9. Maybe then you also see more. Also, I have to like make this a little bit bigger there. There you go. Oh, this one is nice. There we see on the inside. Okay. Interesting. I think we need to describe the prompt a little bit better. This is also kind of nice. This is interesting, but not what we asked for. Look like winter, yeah, like Christmas decoration, right? Lifelike photoreal. Oh, okay. This one is pretty cool, though. Very nice. This is, oh, wow, this is also very nice. It's not exactly the inside, but these kind of like electric, what do you say, lightning on his body is very cool. Also very interesting. Love that. Oh, wow. I think this is getting the closest here, right? Oh, that is very good though, right? This is very beautiful. I think that's coming pretty close, right? Very nice. Huh. Oh, so this is actually what you wanted, right? With the circulatory system and everything. That's quite what we get here. Very, very nice. Oh, nice. Look at you have here the, what is it called? The backbone or whatever it's called. Very nice. Crazy. This one not so much. Ooh, not exactly what we asked for, but very beautiful. Love it. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. We can see inside of him. A little bit morbid, but still very cool, right? Those keep getting better. Yeah, I would say so, right? Pretty cool. Oh, wow. Open chest. That's also a little bit morbid. It reminds me a little bit of that Nirvana cover, right? In utero. Very cool. Ooh. With the bound wrapped head. Very cool. Very nice. Love that. Oh, that's it. Okay. An angel. Let's switch this over here real quick to go like this. 3pi2 might be good. Let's write here X-ray. View of the circulatory system that is glowing. Bioluminescence. Okay, let's try that and go back here to the styles. Let's try this style here again. That worked really well. The other style, I think, was this one. Not 100 on that, but I think it was this one. And we can also try some other styles. Let's see. This style looks very detailed. We can try that. Maybe this one. That one might be cool. Ooh, this one. Okay, let's have a look, see what we get here. Oh, nice. Look at that. So there we have the X-ray look. Interesting. Ooh, all right. That's pretty cool, right? Let me make this bigger. 1 second. Let's go back here. In a waterfall in the center of a space opera. No, that's too abstract. It's getting confused. Let's stick to the main subject and then let it choose the background on its own, and then you can get some very detailed stuff. This looks pretty cool with her. Very nice. Love it. Ooh, also very cool. Wow. Interesting. It's interesting that it just does like the chest for some reason and not the skull or anything else. Wow, I love that one. That looks very, oh God. What is I can't remember the name of the band. But anyways, it looks like a music cover. Very nice. Ooh, that is interesting. Look at that. Wow. Huh. And the wings are especially crazy here. Very beautiful, huh? Very nice. Good stuff. This is kind of strange, but yeah. Ooh, okay. There's no face for some reason, but the rest is pretty interesting. This looks like a screenshot from a cutscene of a video game, right? Interesting. Oh, wow, look at that. Beautiful. Again, looks more like a video game, but at least here we have more of the body. Wow, and the small, like, moth-like wings. Very cool. Oh! Whatever. This is like demon cheeses or something like that, you know? Wow, with the open chest, everything is glowing like flames. And then he's on a graveyard with all these skulls on the ground. Beautiful. Wow. Ooh, okay. Did not expect that, but yeah. A heart with wings is actually super nice. Very creative, right? That's pretty amazing. Wow, I love that. Very cool. This also very nice. No body, but just the chest, lungs, and kind of like a head. But again, very nice. I love the skulls on the ground. Oh, wow, look at that. Holy moly. It's like there's a tree growing in his chest and the tree is growing into the wings. Wow. Very nice. Love that. Ooh. Okay. This is very filigree, as we said before, with the nice little golden lines here, but beautiful. How this like creatures coming out of the fog, right? Wow. Beautiful. Ooh, okay. And this is the god of vaping, I guess. This is what you look like when you vape for 100 years. But I love the wings that look like leaves, right? Very beautiful. All right. Next one. Yeah, a little bit strange. Ooh, okay. Also interesting. Strange details, but you see a hint of the wings here going into this like thick fog, and then you see a little bit more of the wings here on the right side. Very nice. Oh, okay. Wow, the first time that we also have here the hip bones and the leg bones in that. It looks like a Christmas tree decoration a little bit though. Okay, we have the heart with the wings again. Pretty cool though. Very nice. Ooh, okay. Angel sitting inside of a heart. Midjourney really comes up with the most crazy ideas here. Wow. Ooh, like that too. He's kind of like floating in a strange position, kneeling and floating. Oh, wow. That is nice. That looks again like a cutscene, right? Where he's like transforming into an energy being or something like that. With the heart and the lungs and everything. Wow. Beautiful. Ooh. This is more like what you get in these 3D anime films, right? He's kind of like taking his energy out of his chest or something, probably saving someone. Very beautiful. Love that. Very nice. Ooh. Also very good. Love that too. The lungs are way bigger than her chest though. That's a bit strange. Again, very nice. Cool. All right, that's it. That's the last one. What's the time, by the way? Oh, we still have time. Okay. What else do we want to try? I think I'm gonna go back to 16 by 9 to get the full screen so you can see more. What do you want to have? Well, what could we do? Let's have a cat playing. Oh no, wait, a cat wearing. Oh no, wait. A cat DJ in space. There we go. Let's get some cool styles for that. Maybe that one. Oh, that one is crazy. Let's do some crazy styles here. Let's get this style here. This style here looks pretty crazy. Oh, that style is pretty interesting. If you have some, oh, okay, that one also. If you have some ideas, let me know. And then also, let's see if these videos are finished. Oh, there we have the videos. At least one video we have of our... Yeah, like I said, it's really cool for a TV show, right? Very nice, look at that. But the thing is, like, Midjourney still doesn't have any audio with it. So you can't do any voice, especially not lip sync. And then you also can't do any sound effects or music. So it's just, it's the bare video. But still, for what it is, the quality is pretty nice. So that's not too bad. Coffee, during the coffee, I had this same stream through mobile. So to not miss a thing. And what it was, the stream was few seconds of different time. Okay. Yeah, the animations. Yeah. I think a lot of them are still rendering because it's in slow mode. And for some reason today, it's going really slow. I should have maybe rendered them in fast mode. But yeah, we have to wait for that a little bit longer. In the meantime, let's check out our space DJ cats. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. There we go. Cat DJ. Very cute with the headphones and everything. Ah, very cute. Look at that. DJ Cat in the space van making some music. What else? Oh, Fat Cat for the fat beats. His beats are so fat he has 2 sets of headphones on. There we go. Ooh, Astronaut Cat also doing some cool mixes here. Looking up to the sky for inspiration. Very cool. Oh, wow. Holy moly. That could legit be a cover for a vinyl, right? Very awesome. Okay, the bad fat beat cat. There we go. With the sunglasses. All right. Oh, wow. The cat is sitting in a very strange way, but otherwise it's pretty cool. This looks like it could be some kind of like minimal techno cover, right? Very nice. I love how the landscape is melting in the background. It's pretty amazing. All the art results been wow. Yeah, wow, cool, right? That's always with Midjourney. It's always cool, right? Wish they're getting myself attempting more on it, right? Yeah, experimenting and just doing crazy stuff is always a good way. Especially, I feel like with AI, the less you expect, the more you get surprised and happy by it, right? And the more you try to get specific result, the more disappointing and stressful it is to use AI. This, again, is pretty cool. Very nice. Oh, wow. Again, very cool cat here with a little bit of synthesizer in the background. Very, very nice. Love it. This could be inspiration for some music, almost, right? Oh, look at that. Holy shit. That could be legit a flyer for maybe, would you say like a hip-hop kind of like DJ night or something like that? I love it. Look at that DJ set, and then you have these like big speakers here or subwoofers built into the table. Very, very cool. And they're like the colors of the music exploding into the room. Love it. Beautiful. Oh, also very nice. Pretty cool. very creative, like DJ cat here with a hoodie. Very nice. Oh, wow. Okay, very dynamic. He has like just one very big, what is it called? Vinyl player? What are they called? I don't remember. But anyways, looks pretty cool. EDM? Oh yeah, maybe EDM, right? There we go. Also very nice. No outfit cat, just like fresh and pure from the streets. There we go. Oh, a space cat. No DJ this time, but love it. Look how I love how this is like this kind of, I would almost say maybe watercolor and pencil drawing, and then you have this very realistic glass here for some reason. And I love the face, the cute cat face. Very nice. All right, so these are like not DJ cats. He's more like a thinking cat, philosopher cat in space. There we go. Okay, also pondering cat, emotional pondering cat. Turntable, there we go. Completely forgot about that. I was recently thinking maybe I should buy a turntable again. But then I also have to have like a system or something. Or is there like a turntable you can like connect directly to the boxes today? Because I still have a lot of vinyls. And I also thought maybe for some beats or some music I should buy vinyls, because they like, if you have good vinyls and like a nice selection, they get more value over time, or can get more value over time. And you also have kind of like a nice collection. But then on the other hand, they are big and cumbersome. For every track, every 2-3 tracks, you have to go there and change the vinyl. But then it has this kind of like haptic. You actually have something in your hand you can be proud of, rather than just a streaming service where you don't own anything, you know. So maybe that's worth it. He looks like a very thoughtful cat. So this is more the philosopher's cat corner here right now. Oh, wow. There you go. The fattest beats in space. Wow, wow. There we go. Cosmic Mike on the on the turntables. All right. Very cool, this one. Okay, next one. All right. He's more the dreamy DJ, I would say, for the chill out zone, I guess. He looks very relaxed and chill. Very cool, though. Next one. Okay. Interesting. More of a passive cat DJ. And for some reason, very photorealistic now. Ooh, oh, the big motions. He's putting on the laugh tracks there, right? Or maybe some R&B or something, right? He's feeling the deep motions here. Love is in the air. There we go. All right. Japanese wives? Oh, yeah, maybe also, right? There we go. Okay. Ooh, okay. Also very emotional. The soft... do you remember soft rock? I never was like listening to that, but I just know they have these like soft rock compilations, always with the love couple on the cover and stuff like that. This looks like he's putting that on. Ooh, again, fat beats, fat cat. There we go. Very nice. Looks awesome. This looks like he's putting on some nice house tracks. Very cool. Or the old school hip hop tracks, maybe. Right? All right. Who else? Ooh. Okay. Mr. Trans Cat. There we go with the white outfit. Putting on some, yeah, trance music. There we go. Ooh, okay. He looks more like the cat who does a lot of like sophisticated tricks with the mixing, right? Very cool. There we go. Anything else? No, that's it. Okay. Do we have some more animations, or are they still stuck in Oblivion here? Let's see. Oh, we got one more. Ooh. Very dynamic. I wish you could do anything with that. Or maybe some skilled voice actor could put something that looks like lip sync afterwards, but that would be super random, right? They really need to catch up to that, making it lip sync and such. But I mean, the animations themselves are pretty cool. Ooh, Sinister Zoom. Okay. And this one. Love the face animations. It's so crazy to see some like 2D art come to life and this stuff is going on. Very crazy. And it always makes the characters feeling way more real than they ever would in just the image. This one is still rendering, 51% though, and this one is, yeah, still cute. Okay, what else do we want to try? What else do we have here? Do we have any other ideas for cool stuff? We can try with these many styles. As you can see here, there's like basically an endless amount of styles. Of course, a lot of them then come close to a style we have seen before, but yeah. Still, lots of choices. You can see here, pretty crazy different styles. Very nice. If you have another prompt I should put, let me know in the chat. Or I can come up again with something, but it would be nice if you add something in the chat. Love that also, the fisheye look here. Pretty cool. Sorry, getting a little bit tired here. How much time do we have still? Oh, not that much. So give me some a character or character sheet. Yeah, but what character? Give me some idea for a character. Like the Vtubers. 4-armed character. Yeah, but as soon as you go over the things that the AI can imagine, you get some, like, you don't get nice results. That's maybe a problem there. I could, do you have some description of a VTuber character? I could also ask ChatGPT for something. Can put that in here. Give me 3 prompts for a character sheet of a creative VTuber character. See, like that. Goddess Kali. Multi-armed having coffee. Okay, we can try that. In that case, I'm gonna switch over the ratio again, I would say. Or let's just leave it like that and see what happens. Let's leave it like that. Let's take this style here. That might be good. And maybe that style here. And then, oh, that style might be cool for that. Something with a lot of detail in there, right? Maybe this one might be cool. And maybe that one might be cool. This one, but it's black and white. Let's try that. Doesn't matter. Oh, and maybe this one, but it's very crazy, but let's try it. Doesn't matter. White-haired, full body with a heroic pose. Okay, 1 second. All right. Let me try this once without anything, or maybe just let's what kind of thing should we use for that? This one looks nice from the character itself. Maybe that one? I don't know. Maybe this one? Maybe that one? Maybe that one? Maybe this one? Okay, let's have a look at what we have so far. There we have Kali, Coffee Kali. There we go. Pretty cool. She has 4 arms, so you got that. Nice position. The feet don't look right, but never mind. Ew, there we go. Coffee Kali. Yeah, that could be for, you could put that in a coffee shop. Again, the hands are a little bit strange, but yeah. Ooh, he's sinister like Mad Kali. There we go. Also pretty cool. Oh, this looks like an Aztec kind of Kali here with horns and no 4 arms in this case, but yeah, that's okay. Ooh, this is nice. No 4 arms, but it looks very beautiful. And she has 2 coffees for some reason, but very nice. No 2 arms, but I love how her like hair is going into like a colorful mind kind of thing. That's very nice. There we at least have 3 arms. That looks a lot more like Kali, so that's pretty cool. Nice coffee also with the swirl on top. Ooh, nice. It even says coffee. Almost. It almost says coffee. So, yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay, pretty cool. Very nice. No 4 arms, but I love the coffee mug. It looks more like a tea mug, to be honest, but anyways. This is also kind of cool. It looks almost like a little bit like an advertisement with the big cup in the foreground. And for some reason, it doesn't have a mouth, but yeah. What else do we have? Ooh, this is also nice. Oh, I love how the coffee or tea is like coming out here in these huge swirls and going into the sky. Very nice. Pretty cool. Again, this looks more like a sketch than a finished thing because the hands are here crazy in the background. But overall, this could be a nice start for the idea for a tea ad, not coffee in that case again. This is also kind of nice, but I love like how there's this kind of like whatever that is coming into the image. Yeah, it's really amazing, right? What AI can like create. Ooh, I love that one. And the zombies in the background, that's a nice twist. And for some reason it creates rather tea than coffee. I don't know why. But I love how she's surrounded by zombies in the background. That's pretty cool. This one is also nice. Again, no 4 arms, but very lovely landscape. And this gigantic moon over her is also very beautiful. Ooh, wow. I love that. Look at her. With the long blue hair, like looks like very thin dreadlocks. And then there is kind of like a spaceship here in the background. Amazing details. Love that. Very cool. Wow, she's surrounded by monsters that look a little bit like bisons, right? Interesting. And for some reason, it's always tea. Or at least I would think these cups as tea cups, not as coffee cups. But yeah. In a kind of like a elfin temple or something. Elfish temple, right? It's coffee, you think? That's a coffee cup, really? Because I always associate these flat cups with teacups. This is also very cool. Wow, nice sketch. There we go. Pretty cool. Sinister look, but no 4 arms. Again, no 4 arms. Wow, the lips are amazing. Beautiful. Okay. Very nice. Aha, there we have, well, we have 5 arms now. It's going through the numbers here. Beautiful, though. I love how the coffee beans are flying through the air. And she has, I guess, a hot coffee and then also iced coffee or something like that. Interesting. And she's a little bit upset, I guess, over her coffee. Maybe it's the wrong kind of milk. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, she's smoking and having a coffee. There we go. But beautiful. Looks like the old Che Guevara images, right? Also kind of nice. She put some more milk in her coffee, I guess. And then throwing around some coffee powder. Who knows what's going on there? Oh, wow. Relaxed Kali, drinking her coffee in the morning, sitting very relaxed there. That is pretty cool. Love the sun in the background. I'm giving more focus to her. Sorry. She got some snakes in her hair or something. I don't know. I don't know why Midjourney needs to have more precision, even in these like more crazy ideas. Oh, this is more a caricature style, right? Pretty cool though. Love that. Very nice. Again, for some reason, 5 arms instead of 4 arms. There we have 4 arms, but I think that is the Kali out of the Rick and Morty universe, I guess. Very strange. And she is, I don't know what's happening there. She's smoking all of her problems, I guess. No idea what's going on. With the oh god, what's the goddess with the snake hair? Oh, come on. Medusa with the Medusa hair. There we go. Oh wow. Okay. This is the stepmother Kali. Why do they always have uneven numbers of arms? Why is it never just 4 arms? So strange. I don't know what's going on. Medusa, yeah, there you go. It has something against 4 arms. Ooh, that is a crazy style. Beautiful. Very like abstract. Again, more kind of like a little bit of an Aztec style, I guess. Aztec LSD style a little bit, right? Yeah, I don't know what this is. I feel like this is like painted with markers or something like that, right? Very strange. Ooh, it's kind of nice. Yeah, sometimes Midjourney is just going overboard. I don't know why this is again so pixelated and such. And again, this is very pixelated, low detail. Sometimes Midjourney is just going a little bit strange. Oh, this is the character sheet. Didn't turn out as a character sheet though. Yeah, that didn't work. Nope. Didn't really work for some reason. Strange, because usually Midjourney is very good with character sheets. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a character sheet, but you basically see them all from the same direction, so that's not really helpful. This is a bit more of a character sheet, but more like face expressions. Yeah, surprisingly, this didn't really work out. It might, I'm pretty sure that has to do something with the style reference, because usually it can create very beautiful character sheets. Okay. I wouldn't call any of those Vtubers though. Oh, they have a 3D style. At least here we see the front and the back, so that's kind of cool. Multi-arm edit with Gemini 2.5 fast. Result like 2 or 3 arms. Oh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, at least here we have different rotation perspectives, but also not so great. That's very surprising that it doesn't work. Ooh, okay, interesting. Love the design. Also interesting. What the hell? Like Midjourney going overboard again with the stuff that's creating. This looks like a 90s video game character. A little bit like a mix of Tekken and some cheap horror game or something like that. Dr. Walt or something, you know? with the lightning coming out of his arms. Some I don't know, strange thing. I don't know what's going on. Oh, so this is the same as before. Yeah, the character sheet thing just didn't work, which is really surprising. Yeah, it didn't really do anything. Okay, yeah, not great. Let's see if we can have a look at the videos now. Hopefully they are finished by now. Should have gone with the fast mode. Also, I think it's weekend, so maybe there's a lot more use. Have we seen that before? No, right? Okay, let's just look at those. Or let me start here so we can go in the other direction. So again, that's very beautiful, very nice. Yeah, just Midjourney creates a beautiful output. It's just very random. And that's like the downfall of it, because you get like, I think, some of the best results, but you have zero control over them. And also they are very short. That's also a little bit of a downside. They should already have extended this. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice animation. There we have the other guy. Also very nice. I love how Midjourney can do these things, you know? With these, like, really understanding the different elements of the face and animating all of that. That is really nice. It's just very random. Very cool. Look at that. Yeah, but a couple of years down the line, we will be able to have a lot more control over everything in here. And of course, also, I mean, we have to see like where Sora 2 is going, but the start results look very good, and then I feel like now they like really dumb it down to a way less powerful model. Because if it would stay like this, where you can actually create like a complete short film with one prompt, and it creates the sound effects and the music and the dialogue and everything in there, and it is consistent with the story and the characters, that's very amazing. But apparently in the future they are using a dumber model for that, and you can't do that. And also they ramped up the copyright restrictions, even though they used it. And this is like they abuse the social media community for getting up a hype and creating all kinds of characters, and then as soon as like a couple of 100,000 people have signed up to their service, suddenly they prevent it and say no more, and put a censorship on that, which is very strange. Okay, these are the videos. Time-wise, we are at the 2-hour mark, so I feel like we have done a pretty cool, we have seen a very cool selection of different styles today. Pretty cool things. Oops, that's a completely different area here. Just wanted to put up one more. Where is it? This is also way past. 1 second, let's go up here. The hell is going on here? Wow. All right. Yeah, we can have this one in the background. There we go. Okay, cool. So I guess I would say we have created some pretty cool stuff. I'm really happy to have Midjourney again for a little bit. I just took it for 1 month to experiment with it a bit, because always I get a lot of satisfaction out that and a lot of inspiration. So it's just fun to use, even though you don't have the most amount of control over it. I think if you have this normal tier for $24 a month just for the inspiration, and then go on to other pages to maybe animate it or like refine it and stuff like that, you get a lot out of that. It's just missing the control. And also, as you've seen, the prompt adherence when it comes to more complex stuff. But otherwise, you can do some amazingly beautiful stuff with that. All right. My friends, I hope you had a good time today. I had a good time with you. Thank you very much for all the cool suggestions and hanging out with me, trying out these different styles. That was really a blast. Yeah, and see you next week for some more cool stuff and AI news and tutorials and things like that. Okay, let me cue up the music. There we go, and find the end screen. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and see you soon. Bye. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.